All right, let's dive into a really powerful step-by-step system for getting your focus back. This is basically your guide to finally doing meaningful work in a world that, let's be honest, seems designed to distract you at every turn.
So, does this sound familiar? You're busy all day. You're drowning in emails, Slack messages, you've got a dozen tabs open. But when you get to the end of the day, you look back and think, what did I actually get done? If that hits a little too close to home, just know you are not alone, and there is a structured way to fix it.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to put a name to the problem. Then we'll get into the system to fix it, see exactly how to prepare for it, break down the 90-minute block itself, and finally go over the rules that make it all stick. Let's do this. Okay, so what's the real enemy here? It's one thing: constant context switching. Every single time you just glance at an email or a notification, you're paying a little mental tax. And by the end of the day, those taxes add up, leaving you feeling totally exhausted and busy, but not actually productive.
So, how do we fight back against this? A little spoiler for you: it's not about just trying harder. It's about having a smarter system. Think of it like a protective container for your single most valuable asset, your attention.
And here is our tool, the 90-minute deep work block. I really want you to think of this as a fortress for your focus. This is not just time to work. No, it is a dedicated container for one and only one task with a very specific named output at the end.
But you might be asking, why 90 minutes? Well, it turns out that's kind of the sweet spot. It's long enough to really get into that deep state of flow and make some real progress, but it's also short enough that you'll actually schedule it and, more importantly, protect it from all those distractions.
Now, this right here is a really key idea. The goal isn't just to work hard for 90 minutes. It's to ship a specific output. And this is so important, to end in a way that makes the next time you work on this almost effortless to start. It is all about building momentum. The real secret to making this system work is that success happens before you even start the timer. There are two crucial prep steps that are going to set you up to win: defining your mission and building your fortress.
Let's be real. You can't focus if you don't know exactly what you're focusing on. Vague goals, like work on the presentation, that's just an open invitation for procrastination and distraction to come hang out.
Think of this as your mission brief. First, you set a hyper-specific goal: verb, output, scope. So not work on presentation, but draft slides 1 through 6. Next, you define what done actually looks like. Then, and this is a game changer, you name the very first tiny step to just eliminate that starting friction. And finally, you list out any risks so nothing can catch you by surprise. Okay, with your mission defined, it is time to build the fortress. You have to make your commitment visible, and then ruthlessly defend that time on your calendar. Because look, if it's not blocked off, it's not real. And I love this because it's so simple. You just create a visual contract with yourself right there on your calendar. Give your deep work blocks a bold, you can't miss it color. This isn't just about being organized. It's a public statement of your intent. It tells everyone, including yourself, hey, this time is sacred. Okay, so the mission is briefed, the fortress is built. Now for the main event. Let's break down exactly what happens inside that 90-minute block, minute by minute. So here it is, the 90-minute playbook. And I want you to notice the rhythm here. It is not one long, painful slog. It starts with a quick 5-minute warm-up, then you dive into these focused sprints separated by short, and this is important, screen-free micro breaks to recharge. The final short sprint is for polishing, and then those last 5 minutes are absolutely crucial. That's when you save your work and write a next step note to build that momentum for tomorrow. It's a beautiful cycle of work, rest, and wrap-up. This system is incredibly powerful, but it does have one condition. You have to follow the rules. And these aren't just suggestions. Think of them as the non-negotiable guardrails that make the entire thing actually work. Okay, pay close attention here. Those 5-minute micro breaks are what make this whole thing sustainable, and their rules are strict. This is time for your body and your mind to recover. It is not time for your inbox. You stand up, you stretch, you get some water. You absolutely, under no circumstances, check your phone or email. If some random, oh, I gotta do this thought pops into your head, just jot it down in a parking lot note and get right back to your break. This might just be the most important rule of all. You cannot bake a whole cake in 90 minutes, but you can perfect a single slice. You can't write an entire report, but you can definitely draft the introduction. Scoping your task correctly, it's everything. So let's quickly go over the common traps people fall into. Instead of a vague scope like work on project, get super specific. Draft slides 1 through 6. Instead of trying to edit while you draft, separate those two modes of thinking. Don't ever check messages for a second. Come on, we all know that's a lie. Stick to the break rules. And never ever end a block without writing down the immediate next step for the future. And just remember, while the rules inside the block are strict, the system itself is actually pretty flexible. The beauty of this framework is that you can totally adapt its core principles to fit your own needs and your daily energy levels. For example, if you want a more ADHD-friendly approach, try 4 20-minute sprints with shorter breaks in between. And if you're having a low-energy day, don't just give up on it. Scale it down. Do a 60-minute block. The goal here is consistency, not perfection. Any progress is good progress.
Okay, theory is great, but it's practice that actually creates change, right? So let's make this real. Here is your plan to schedule your very first deep work block.
Here it is, your 4-step action plan. Number 1, pick a tiny specific task. Remember, 1 slice of the cake. 2, open your calendar right now and block out 90 minutes for tomorrow. Use that bold color. 3, when the time comes, set a timer and just trust the structure we walked through. And 4, commit to the rules, especially the ones for your breaks. That is it.
So I'll just leave you with this one final thought. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just focus on this one thing. I mean, imagine the momentum, the progress, the amazing feeling of accomplishment you would get from doing just one of these blocks each day. Just ask yourself, what could you ship? What could you create?